All right, we're here at the Long Beach IMS show, International Motorcycle Show, and this kind of comes to a culmination of the show period of the season. First there was Intermont, then we went to AIM in Orlando, and then EICMA in Milan, and now we're here in Long Beach. We've got a good idea of where the market's going in motorcycles. The way I see it is there's some heavily interesting sport motorcycles. The adventure touring category keeps expanding and going maybe a little bit sportier, and there's some interesting new entry or entry-ish level bikes around too. How do you guys see the way this 2015 season is shaping up?
I think that the manufacturers are showing that they are confident that sales are going back up, and they're putting their dollars in developing and releasing more models. I mean, BMW just said that they've got 5 new models this year. That's 5 years in a row that they've introduced 5 new models. So 25 new motorcycle models is a pretty hefty commitment, and I think we're seeing a similar level on the part of a lot of the manufacturers, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yamaha in particular,
yeah,
also stepping up to the plate big time. Even Ducati with these new scramblers behind us, clearly they're going big to a sort of a place they haven't gone before. They did retros a few years ago, but scramblers, it's pretty clear they're aiming at sort of a not a current rider, and not even a past rider. They make specific reference to how easy to ride the new Scrambler is, and how it's aimed at an audience that is looking to relax and just have fun on motorcycles. It's not about performance. It's about lifestyle and attitude and having fun.
I think the Scrambler came about because the Bonneville is doing that exact same thing.
Right,
it takes some retro riders, but it's also taking lots of new riders and having people make it their own. And with 4 different models of Scrambler, I think this is a brilliant move for Ducati. It's fairly reasonably priced, starts at $8,500.
That's right.
And who knew motorcycle riding was fun? I mean, that's just a cold slap in the face.
It turns out not every hipster wants to rebuild a 76 CB 404. One of my storylines that I picked up over the shows is how optimistic and how strong people are coming out in 2015. Obviously, there's a lot of new models for this year, which can only be good for the industry.
Yeah, I think Yamaha is best positioned for 2015. They got the R1, which is looks like to be a technological tour de force. The R3 is going to sell bucket loads, I really believe, in pre-orders. Yamaha tells me pre-orders
right, it'll be
huge.
Sold out. Yeah.
And that FJ09, that's like an FZ9, except more comfortable and more usable and
higher tech,
right, and a ECU tune that I think we're going to like better than that.
But even without that ECU tune, Yamaha already said the FZ09 is our best-selling street model, at least this year. And if it's only going to get better next year with the new tuning, the FJ09, I mean, Yamaha's on the uptick.
Yeah.
And I have a quibble with what you said. It's the R1s, plural. The M is clearly a different motorcycle, and I think it's going to attract a lot of attention.
What was amazing to me, they said they're going to bring in about 500 into the U.S., and they say they're pretty much sold. They know those things are all sold.
25 grand a piece, right? Yeah. Or 22 or
21.9, so 22.
Right, we got $25,000 H2s. We got mid-20s to low 30s, 1299s and 1299Ss. So obviously the R1 dictates we got to have a new Superbike shootout for 2015 because there's an all-new player, right? We got a new S1000. Right. So we got a regular Superbike shootout, but with the new H2 and the 1299 Panigale and the R1M, we probably need to have a $25,000 specials shootout, right?
Don't forget there's a new Aprilia RSV4 that we didn't see today.
Right, still haven't seen it, right?
That just ups the game, ups the ante in this leader bike super sport market even further.
But if we want to talk about sport bikes too, for me the most exciting thing I saw today, and it's not really something I will be able to participate in unless I magically turn to a kid between 14 and 22 years old.
Back to KTM.
The KTM and the RC Cup. I think that just hands down was the most, I got goosebumps when they were talking about it because, I love watching racing, and I think it's really exciting watching kids go at it on equal platforms, and it gives me a lot of hope for what's going to happen in the future as far as American representation on a worldwide racing scale.
Yeah, that's got to be a great thing. A spec series is what the feeder series needs for the AMA, and with Wayne Rainey and his new crew running that, I'm really optimistic.
They are going to have contingency for the R3 if you want to race that.
Yes.
And
Part
just
of the
to, just
Blue
to,
Crew.
to
The
yeah,
change to
part of
make
the
it to
Blue
the Blue
Crew.
Crew.
Just to hear the word contingency brought up again in racing is amazing.
And we're looking at CB 300s, we're looking at Ninja 300s, and pricing, and that RC 390 is quite a bit more exotic. We got the new Yamaha, which looks great, but none of them look like an RC 390. And at $54.99, and now going to be the official entry-level road race bike for America, that's going to be hard to beat next year.
What really shocked me was the new Duke 390 that's coming out right away.
Right.
$5,000. I think that Duke 390 is going to be an awesome seller in the US and around the world.
Another one that I've been making note of is the hype around the H2. Our readers are very familiar with it. We've run, 21 videos?
26.
26 promotional videos on behalf of Kawasaki, as have all of our other peers in the media. It's a very hot topic bike, and then the R1 came out and sort of stole its thunder, right?
That was kind of under the radar, the massive update.
They did a good job of keeping how significantly upgraded it is. So, but that R1, like Kevin said, is looking like the tour de force. Same displacement and specific output as the supercharged H2, but
In terms of horsepower.
Right, but 100 pounds lighter. Where the H2 is going to have its advantage clearly is going to be area under the curve. It's going to make torque at low RPM. As soon as it comes up on boost, it's going to have way more torque all through the mid-range. So how will it net? Will that extra pounds look like an extra 100 pounds?
I have no doubt an R1 will be able to lap quicker than an H2 around any racetrack. But an H2, a supercharged leader bike, is going to be a ride unlike anything else that we've ever ridden. So I still believe in some of the hype. I think it's going to be a magical thing to ride. But as far as a track bike or a leader bike contender, the H2 is in a different class in my book. All right, the other thing that I think that's happening is the adventure-style sporty bikes. So there's the GS that can go off-road and the 1190 Adventure. But now that model is expanding to sport touring. And so big news this year is the Super Adventure from KTM. It's got the Super Duke motor in a sport touring chassis. I think that's going to be a wonderful sport tour. And Ducati, the Multistrada, the new Multistrada. I thought it was going to be like a little mild refreshment. This thing is all new, and that variable valve timing motor, it's supposed to be way more responsive down low. It's going to be more tractable. So much technology in it. And then go over to the BMW zone, the S1000 XR. That's going to be a great bike, right? We love the S1000R, and then this is going to be more comfortable and still has the same kind of power and electronic suspension. And then the FJ09 from Yamaha. It's similarly styled in that vein. This is a big class.
Versus 1000.
Versus 1000, yeah. And even the 650.
Oh, no.
Another
Are we
shootout.
all going to have to go do a shootout with those kind of bikes? Oh, that sucks.
I think also some maybe understated bikes that I'm excited about. R12R, R12RS, cool bikes that I think that boxer engine's really cool. They're not really getting a whole lot of attention. They're kind of flying low under the radar, but I really think they're going to be really fun bikes to ride. They're not going to be, some sort of super sport or sport adventure touring thing, but as they stand for what they are, I'm really looking forward to riding those too.
It's, as we started off, it's going to be an incredible year for motorcycles. 2015 is, it's time to smile again.
Yeah.
We had 07 storm clouds gathered, 08 it started raining, 09 the heavens opened up and it was biblical doom and gloom, and then we see rays of sunshine. But I think we've been probably the biggest surprise of the show season isn't any particular new bike, although there have been some nice surprises there. It's how many different new bikes there are from so many different avenues, and the sign that's sending to us as journalists is it can only be good.
Right. There's a surge of excitement that's happening in the industry right now, and the EICMA show figures, right? They had something like 600,000 people go through there. It was a record-setting year. Right. So for that kind of influx of people to come in to see what the latest new bikes is, that's a really good sign for the industry, not just in Europe, but I think globally, because here we've got a plethora of new machines, and honestly, I'm anxious to ride all of them. I think it's clear the gloom over the motorcycle market is lifting. I think we see a lot of good excitement for next year, not only in product that we're seeing from manufacturers, but in consumer reaction. So we hope everyone out there goes and buys a new motorcycle, but only after hearing our reviews first.